Brad Oster. Welcome to Harvestime University. Today we're going to be looking at a course on how to go about developing a long-range strategic ministry plan. Now, strategic plans are something that have been around for the last couple of years, but there's a common misunderstanding about what's involved in a strategic plan. When I talk to churches around the country and ask them, do you have a long-range strategic plan? I get all kinds of answers. I get answers from, what's a strategic ministry plan? Okay, which is pretty much a no to my question. But then I also get, oh yes, we've got that done. And when I ask to see it, I'm handed a variety of documents. Everything from a one-sided, single-page strategic ministry plan all the way to a 50-page document that outlines everything. And so when you think about a strategic ministry plan, what you want to think of is a business plan. If you were an entrepreneur, you were going to start a new company, and you needed to get money from a venture capitalist to start up. Let's say you're going to start a new type of semiconductor company. You're located out there in Silicon Valley, and you're going to call your company Genus Semiconductor. Well, it takes a lot of money to get a new enterprise like that up and running to the point where you're profitable, to where you can do an initial public offering and basically be able to run your ministry or your business, in this case, on the money generated from profit. So it's a long time between your initial idea and the time that you're self-sufficient. So you have to get what's called venture capital. When you do that, you typically put together a business plan. The business plan is going to be a very well-documented paper that explains who you are, what you intend to do, how you intend to go about doing it, what your market is, what percentage of that market you anticipate you'll reach, who's your management team. You have to get a lot of detail, and it has to be something that comes across as exciting, because your goal, with a business plan is to get a venture capitalist to come along and believe in what you're doing. To say that I'm willing to part with $5 million of my money and give it to you so that you can get your enterprise up and running. Well, when you look at a strategic ministry plan, we need that kind of documentation. Now, we're not going to go to Sand Hill Road in Silicon Valley and ask for venture capital for a church. But we are going to communicate our strategic ministry plan to our congregation, and we want to do that in such a way that it answers their questions. It tells who we are, what we're called to do, how we're going to go about doing it, where our market area is, what we want to look like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now down the road, and what it will take to get there. And the more detail you can put into that, the better your congregation is going to understand where it is God desires to take this ministry and what their role as far as participation would be. Not just participation as far as money, because we're not looking again at a venture capitalist, but we are looking for the same results. We want the congregation to be so excited about what God has called this ministry to, and that they are being asked by God and by the staff at the church to participate in this ministry. We need to get them excited about that to where they're just wanting to know, what can I do? How can I participate? Beyond just a monetary gift. I mean, money's nice, it helps to build buildings and it pays the bills, but we need volunteers. We need people that are plugged into the ministry, that are excited about not just their own spiritual growth, but how they can serve in the ministry so that they can impact the lives of others. So as we go through this is a very detailed process in developing a strategic ministry plan. We've been at it now for, well, the first one I did was in 1992, so I've been at it for quite a while. And Harvestime has had the advantage of working with some phenomenal churches around the country, with people who are, frankly, a lot smarter than I am. We worked with Randy Frazee at Pantego Bible Church when they developed their campus. We worked with Lon Solomon at McLean Bible Church in Washington, D.C. And they had some phenomenal people on their leadership team that helped to develop strategic ministry plans that have really equipped both those churches, as well as dozens and dozens of others, to go out and reach the world. And those churches are doing phenomenal things today. And I know it's God's desire to reach your community and to do incredible things through your ministry. And the more we can prayerfully look to the Holy Spirit to guide and direct us as we try to discern God's highest and best for our ministry, and we start to put those ideas and thoughts down on paper, the more we do that, the more detail we can get, the better we will be at reaching the lost in our community. So enjoy this. It's a lot of work, I'll tell you that, but there's nothing more rewarding than having everybody in your church, not just the pastor, not just the staff and the elder board and the leadership, but the entire congregation, all singing from the same sheet of music. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody takes ownership of the strategic ministry plan, because with understanding and ownership comes participation. And with participation comes finances and a lot of the other needs that you'll certainly need as God continues to grow your ministry in your area to reach the lost and to develop fully devoted Christ followers. So let's go ahead and start. Let's take a look here first at the benefits of having a strategic ministry plan. There's a lot. I've listed a few here for you. Strategic ministry plan will include a uniform vision and purpose that's shared among all constituencies. So everybody's going to be on board with your vision and your purpose. There'll be an increased level of commitment to the ministry and to its goals. People will commit financially. They'll commit with their time, their talent, other resources, if they understand where we're going and how we're going to get there. There'll be an improved quality of service and a means to measure that service. There'll be accountability, foundation for fundraising, ministry for board development, the ability to set priorities and to match resources with opportunities. We only have so much money coming in each week to the church. We want to make sure that we use that in the best way possible. We'll have the ability to deal with risk from external environments, and it'll help to provide a process to help with crisis management. Some other items, the strategic ministry plan will lead to action. We'll know what to do. We'll have our mission, purpose, vision, core values backed up with goals, strategies, objectives, right down to daily activities. So we'll know exactly what needs to be done, who's going to do it, when they're going to do it, how it gets done, and why. And that will help lead to action. It'll build a shared vision that's based on our values. It'll be an inclusive participatory process in which church leadership takes on shared ownership. Now, I encourage you to involve a lot of people when you're developing your strategic ministry plan, but you have to involve the right people. All right, it should be the senior pastor should take the lead, because vision, in my experience, the vision for the church is always communicated through God, through the senior pastor. But you want the staff involved. We want them to take buy-in and ownership so that they eagerly participate. If you just hand them a document and say, here's our strategic plan, they may participate in it because you pay them and because they have to, but it's not a heart thing. If they're involved in the development of that for their particular ministry area, then there's passion, there's commitment. And so we want to see that. So we've got the pastor, we've got the staff, and then your key elder board and church leadership. Don't get the general congregation involved in the strategic ministry plan. Okay, this is the business plan for your ministry. It's too easy for people to come in and try and derail you and bring confusion unless they're on the leadership team or the staff of the church. So the next thing, it'll lead to accountability. I've worked with a lot of churches that just don't seem to be going anywhere. And when you ask why, well, each ministry department, there's no action plan. They don't know what to do, and there's no accountability. So we want to make sure it leads to accountability, that it's based on quality data. You want to make sure any information that we gather, that we use to put our strategic plan together, is accurate. The strategic plan will require an openness to questioning the status quo. You know, the famous last words of every dying church is, we've always done it that way. Well, we want to question that. What are we doing, and why have we always done it that way? Are ministries effective? Are we really doing what we're called to do? Or are we just real busy? You know, a hamster on a wheel is real busy, but it doesn't go anywhere. So we want to take a close look at every ministry, every program we have, and make sure it's aligned with our strategic ministry plan, that it's actually accomplishing an objective that we have. And the strategic plan last year will be a key part of effective management. It's a management tool by which you can look at how people are doing, what's going on, and monitor the progress.